Hi, Chieko. Thank you for coming. It's a great pleasure to have you here at Inventos. Please tell us about your history with music and also why are you here in Brazil?
My history with music is a long story. When I was like 7 years old, I listened to CD of Bobby McFerrin and Yo-Yo Ma, and I loved the CD and I listened a lot. And then I loved the sound of the cello and I loved the sound of Bobby McFerrin. So then I was playing the cello, and then because in cello in Europe you can only do classical music, so I started with classical music. But at some point I really the classical world was too small and narrow for me, and I started very young in conservatory, like 14, and then I felt kind of unhappy in the whole system of classical music, so I kind of broke out of it a little bit and went my own way and started composing, started writing my own music, and I started with jazz and free improvisation, worked a lot with dance, with theater, with poetry, with all kinds of visual arts. And then I made my own group. And then because my mother is Brazilian Japanese, I came to Brazil now to visit my family and to discover Sao Paulo and the amazing music that is
Is it
here.
your first time here in São Paulo?
No, I was here before, but never so much like diving into the scene, like doing this project with you and Benjamin Talking and playing with wonderful musicians here has been like really a lot of inspiration. So this time I really went for it and discovered a lot of amazing musicians, and music.
Yes, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Tell us about your creative process. I'm very interested in it and how the things happen to you.
I think since I was a child, I always had a lot of ideas and creativity, and for me music is just one way. Like when I was small, I thought I would be a writer. I was always painting and writing stories the whole day, writing stories and illustrating the stories, and then singing the songs about the stories that I made up, and dancing, and like every form of creativity was part of the expression. And because of the world we live in, somehow like it was put into the music, but I still feel like the expression comes in a lot of different forms. So I don't feel only a musician, but music is one way to express the creativity that comes to me.
Yes, this is beautiful. I can see all this expressiveness in you, in your body, in all your movements, the pizzicato, the bow, and in your voice. So, what do you think is the best attitude to build this expressiveness in music?
I think being open, like for me, like everything that comes through me is not mine. Like I just open myself, and then I'm like a vessel to come through me. So I do really also a lot of time this meditation, like that I ask the universe to just use me as a vessel, like an instrument. Like I'm almost the flute of the universe, like also kind of removing your ego and trying to like, it has to be good, it has to be this, it has to be that. If you remove that and just open yourself, and then you don't judge what comes in, you just let it through you. And that's what I really try to do also when I'm inventing the lyrics. Like I used to have a little bit of cringe, like, oh, this is a weird, why am I saying this? But then if I just really open myself, the words come and I sing, and it's like telling a story. What I feel in the moment comes, and I try not to judge, and I just try to be open.
Wow, this is a good attitude. Do you also meditate?
A lot, yeah. Like my grandparents are Japanese Buddhists, so I had a lot of Buddhism. I read a lot. I love the work of Thich Nhat Hanh. He's like a Buddhist monk that I loved, and I read a lot of Buddhist literature. But I also like to meditate a lot. But for me, in a sense, music is meditation, writing is meditation, looking at the sunrise is meditation, a deep conversation where you're really present is meditation. Like for me, it's more about
Presence.
being present, being there.
Yes, I believe in this too. And can you recognize what meditation brought to you, to your life, to your music, to your creative process?
Very much, because I feel like when you really go deep into yourself and you go into this very deep place within you, and it's always like, sometimes I feel like an onion, like every time I'm going a layer deeper. And I was just 3 weeks, I was in the Mata Atlântica in a Mosteiro Zen, Japanese monastery in Brazil, which was crazy. I was there for 3 weeks just to be in silence, be in the nature, write music, meditate, write, just this process of like peeling the layers and going deep into this deep part of yourself that it's hard to access when you're in a city and like busy and things happening. So when I'm in contact with this deep place within myself, that is in a way like a sacred place for me, like if I access that, I feel so strong and so powerful, but also free. I don't have to do all these things that we think, like being successful, having this, doing that, blah blah. I can just be really happy in a moment, singing a song that comes to me, or writing something, or making a painting that makes me just very happy. And for me, it's like connecting to that deep place within me.
Have you tried writing after a meditation session?
I did, but for me, like sometimes even the process of writing the music itself is a deeper kind of meditate. I can go sometimes even deeper when I'm just like really writing and really going into it. Like I can be like for 3 hours into one song, like really going deep into it. And for me, that is even a deeper form of meditation than just like sitting, I mean, that can help to bring, for me, it's like you have these portals. Like when I read a poem, for instance, I love Mary Oliver's poems. If I read her poems, it's like a portal into this place of stillness. If I listen to this beautiful music of like Love Supreme of John Coltrane, this is like a portal into this state, So for me, like meditation can be a portal, a poem can be a portal, a painting can be a portal, music can be a portal. But sometimes that is even deeper than just a sitting meditation for me. How do you feel like meditation has influenced your music or your work?
The first thing is that meditation gave me more focus when I'm doing music, when I'm playing, when I'm composing. Meditation brought me more clearness about what I should do in those processes, even playing or composing. The other thing I think meditation gave to my life was the point of view of the observer. When you meditate a lot, you start to go to that place like you are in a balloon, going up and seeing everything there down, seeing things happen without identification. And you can detach yourself of that situation, and you can be more in contact with yourself, with the self, your inner self. Meditation brings all of this. It's like a cup of water when it's dark and dirty, a dirty glass of water. when you start to meditate, you can start to make that water even more clear, and that dirty goes away. Something like that. So meditation is a clear, positive thing in my routine, in my creative process, in my life. It's something that is it's a big tool to deal with emotions and everything that happens in our life, in our daily life, you know.
Yeah, for me also, like what you said, what I sometimes feel about also like detaching yourself from emotion, but sometimes for me music is like the opposite. Like I have to go to the emotion, like into the emotion, to feel it, to let it move through you. Because for me, music is like a way to channel it in a way. Like it is a way to go into it, like the opposite almost.
Nice.
Yeah, and then by going into it, by feeling everything, then you can let it go because you have processed. It's like a way of processing for me. Yeah.
This is a very interesting point of view. I agree with you. And tell us, why do you make music? Why are you in this universe? Why did you create? Why do you write music? And what's the meaning of all of this?
I think I have like a lot of things inside me to express. And for me, music is really a way, like I am someone who feels a lot, like a lot. All the happy, bright emotion and also all the sadness and anxiety and like the turbulence is all inside me. And I need a way to channel it. Otherwise I go mad. Like I'm not going well. So I need a healthy way to process my emotion by dancing, by singing, by, you know, also being together in community and like making a song together. And it is really a way to survive this world in a sense, because for me, sometimes I feel so much and there's so much happening in the world and it touches me so much, and I need a way to release it. And for me, like music is a way to process all these emotions, the difficult ones. Also, like it's like alchemy, you know, you boil them, and then it is a way to, like a song that is kind of sad. If you feel sad and you can let that sadness into a song. It is like afterwards it feels like a gift that you have just the beauty of it without the pain in a way. Like you can process the pain through the music, and then the song can be like a gift also to the people, like that you can experience, that you make like a space for the sadness to exist. It's like making a room for the feeling. And I think that's very important. Art in general, like all art, to make a space for all these different emotions and experience of life that is sometimes so hard to comprehend and so hard to process and so hard to live with all this confusion and pain and sadness and war and things that are going on in the world, like so much that I feel I need a way to process it and make. If I feel like all feelings, if you make space for it and if you can feel it and process it, then it can become a beautiful thing and like a rich thing, like all the colors in the world, like not only gray and black and white, but all the colors. Music is a place for all the colors of the feelings and experience of life. And from that, I'm very grateful that I have this channel. Yeah.
Yes, it has a transcendental function.
Yeah, in a way. It can also just be fun, you know, to jam and have fun. But for me, it's also a necessity. Like I need my art to make sense of the world also, because the world is a very confusing place. And if I just connect to my instrument, and you know, sometimes when it's late in the night and my head is like really strong and I have all these feelings and I feeling confused, and then sometimes I just take my cello, I go lie in bed and like lie like this and then just play some pizzicatos and like a lullaby for myself, to calm my system, and just play something for myself that really is beautiful and brings me healing, and I want to make this kind of music also to bring this healing and connect to this deeper part within ourselves. And so I always try to connect to this deeper part within myself. So when I'm connected to that part, I can also connect to you with that part, and you feel that also. And then we can make something beautiful together.
I have a question that I always do here in this project for everybody. That is, if your life was a piece of art or a movie or a song or an album or everything, every kind of art, which one would it be?
This is such a hard question.
Yes, I know. Sorry.
But I think in a way, I feel very connected to the artwork of Frida Kahlo, because in her paintings, like, she paints like the reality of life, in the sense of all the pain and all the sadness and all the real feelings of humanness, but also with this beauty and the colors and the vividness of life, and like taking life by the horns, and even though feeling a lot of pain, and the things she went through in her life are incredible tragedies too, but also kind of transforming that into beauty, and also something like a healing space to make room for all this and see it for what it is, with the rawness and the beauty and all of it. I think that's something I really relate to, and in that sense I try to do this with my music and my songs, to bring this, on one side, the beauty and the healing, but also not making the reality, taking also in account the fragility of the reality, and how hard life can be, and making space for all these emotions. That's something I aspire.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Listening to your music and listening to your talking now, it makes a lot of sense. And tell me, if you had just only one day, what would you do?
I would go to the forest, to Mata Atlântica, and just walk around in a forest with my cello, singing, dancing, bringing my best friends, just being in nature, connected, having good food with my family, some Japanese good food, and singing, dancing, drawing, making a kind of a party with all the people I love, and making music, just letting it move through you, like spontaneous compositions and my favorite songs, and just enjoying being in nature. That's what I like to do most, being in nature and making music.
Okay, thank you, dear. Thank you for sharing with us your music, your thoughts, your art. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you for inviting me. It was very special for me too. Muito obrigada.
Obrigado.